This is my huge lean-to rabbit house.
It's massive, with nearly 100 square feet of living space for my fuzzy bunnies. Sure, you could put chickens, quails, or even cats in here, but look how cute these guys are. And the best part, it's all built with recycled material. But it wasn't always like this. In fact, it started out as a pile of, well, nothing. Follow along as we build it start to finish, today on Slowsteading.
Way to go, Dad.
Our rabbits just had a litter of bunnies, which means soon there's going to be 9 new little rabbits running around, and this house, it's not big enough for them. So I've sketched up my design, and I'm ready to get to work. I really like this spot here behind my garage. The only problem is, well, there's a woodshed in the way. So before I can start building, I gotta start deconstructing. I'm gonna find a new home for this woodshed. First things first, clear all this stuff out of the way. And now begins the fun task of moving over a cord of wood. We've got a 2 wheelbarrow system happening here, or should I say 3 wheelbarrow system. And I could use all the help I can get. Whoops. And here we have a project for a future Slowsteading episode. And next up, site prep. I'm laying down a yard of gravel here for drainage, because I don't want my rabbits to have any wet feet. We're a tag team effort here. I drop the gravel, Mrs. Slowsteading levels it all out. Speaking of leveling, we're going to make sure our frame is completely level before we start building. It's a lot easier to start level than try to finish up later on. I'm assembling both side walls laying down, and then I'll stand them up once they're completed. The front wall is next to be assembled and raised, with help of course. And while I'm busy framing the back wall, Mrs. Slowsteading has a big job ahead of her, attaching all the 1/4-inch hardware mesh to the inside of the frame using a staple gun. This stuff's a pain in the butt to work with, but it's really good at keeping the predators out, so we'll do our best to fit it to the frame and get it all stapled in. It's also super expensive, so if you can find some used wire mesh on your local classified ads or maybe in a pile of abandoned building materials, it's a good place to start. I paid about $10 for all of these wire pieces. Someone was moving out of their house and had a whole bunch of building materials that had to go, and I was just at the right place at the right time. Next up for the framing is the roofing structure. I'm putting up these supports first, which will hold up the rafters. And then the rafters go up next, one by one. Because this is used material, some of the wood is a bit dirty or discolored from age. Mrs. Slowsteading has the palm sander here to take off that dirty layer and leave the wood looking fresh, shiny, and new. It's a bit of elbow grease here, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying new material. Before I can put up the roofing material, I'm going to add some extra purlins here as well as freeze blocks to help support the weight and the structure of the metal roofing sheets I'm going to be lifting up later. And while I'm busy high up on the ladder, Mrs. Slowsteading is down below, attaching wire mesh along the entire floor of the structure. Rabbits like to dig, but so do predators like raccoon and mink, so this will keep everyone in that needs to be in, and everyone out that needs to be out. It's too high, dude. The site has been cleared and the structure, it's all framed up. It's also been fully secured with hardware mesh, so no predators will be getting in here. The timing, it honestly couldn't be better, because these bunnies are getting big and they're quickly outgrowing their home. Stay tuned for part 2, where we wrap up all the finishing touches to get this space ready for our furry little friends.